All right, we are jumping right into something absolutely massive today. We're going to explore a piece of tech that is quite literally reshaping the internet from the ground up. And look, we aren't just talking about a cryptocurrency coin that you buy and hold, hoping the price magically goes up. We are talking about a giant, fully programmable network that developers all over the world are using to build the next generation of the web. So, if it's way more than just a digital coin, that really begs the core question: what exactly is Ethereum? To get a feel for it, I want you to picture an entire global network of independent computers seamlessly morphing together into one giant glowing machine. It sounds like sci-fi, right? But let's break down exactly how this massive digital ecosystem actually functions in the real world. Okay, so at its core, Ethereum is a programmable blockchain platform. Honestly, the best way to wrap your head around it is to just think of it as a decentralized world computer. Think about the apps you use every single day. Right now, most of those run on some giant tech company's private server. If that company's server farm goes down, well, the app crashes. If the CEO gets mad and decides to ban you, your account is just gone. Ethereum completely flips that model upside down. It runs code across thousands of independent computers worldwide. That means there are no centralized servers that can just be switched off, censored, or controlled by any single corporation. It is entirely run by the community. Now, to really grasp why this is such a game changer, let's stack it up against the crypto everyone already knows: Bitcoin. You can think of Bitcoin basically as digital gold. It's incredibly secure, the supply is strictly capped at 21 million, and it's built to be a simple, scarce store of value. You just hold it. Ethereum, on the flip side, is a digital engine. It isn't just trying to be money, it is programmable infrastructure built specifically to run custom code. If Bitcoin is this secure digital vault, Ethereum is a high-powered digital operating system where absolutely anyone can build and launch complex, decentralized apps. And, this grand idea didn't just materialize out of thin air. The origin story is actually pretty wild. The whole concept was first published in a 2013 white paper by Vitalik Buterin, who, get this, was just 19 years old at the time. In his own words, he wrote, "What Ethereum intends to provide is a blockchain with a built-in, fully-fledged, Turing-complete programming language," which is a mouthful, but in plain English, this teenager envisioned a highly flexible, universal platform where developers weren't boxed into just making basic transactions. They could build absolutely any application they could dream up and just launch it directly onto this unstoppable global computer. But how does it actually pull that off? Well, the absolute secret sauce making all of this tick is something called a smart contract. I like to think of a smart contract exactly like a digital vending machine. With a regular physical vending machine, you put your money in, press a button, and the machine automatically drops your snack. There's no cashier checking you out, no manager you have to ask for permission. Smart contracts work the exact same way, but for software. You write the rules directly into the code. Once a specific condition is met, the code just self-executes and you get an immediate outcome. That means no lawyers, no waiting periods, no human error. It's just pure, autonomous code executing flawlessly on the internet. Powering the Web3 economy. So all of this programmable infrastructure, which is totally driven by those autonomous smart contracts we just talked about, is laying the foundation for an entirely new, incredibly fast-paced digital ecosystem. A huge chunk of this new economy is decentralized finance, or DeFi for short. Imagine getting a loan instantly without ever having to sit through a credit check, or trading assets 24/7, anywhere in the world, without a traditional bank ever touching a single cent of your money. That's DeFi in a nutshell. By using smart contracts, financial services like lending, borrowing, and trading operate entirely peer-to-peer. The protocols are totally transparent and permissionless, meaning literally anyone with an internet connection can plug into this global financial system without needing some middleman to rubber stamp their transaction. And then, of course, we have NFTs, non-fungible tokens. For the longest time, people just dismissed these as digital JPEGs you could right-click and save, but the underlying tech is way, way deeper than that. NFTs use smart contracts to give you verifiable cryptographic ownership of totally unique digital assets. Think about gaming skins, digital identity, or even exclusive community access passes. Instead of just renting your in-game items from some mega corporation that can randomly take them away or just shut down their server, you actually own them in your own digital wallet. You can sell them, trade them, or even take them with you into entirely different virtual worlds. And this Web3 space is just expanding at an absolutely massive scale. Take DAOs, for example, Decentralized Autonomous Organizations. These are basically internet-native organizations. You can think of them like a massive global group chat with a shared bank account, but governed entirely by code instead of a traditional CEO. Then you have tokenized real-world assets, where heavy-duty things like real estate are actually being put on the blockchain. Meanwhile, Layer 2 networks are scaling all of this to handle millions of users, while stablecoins, which are crypto tokens pegged directly to the dollar, are processing billions of dollars in global settlements every single day. And Ethereum, it acts as the foundational settlement layer for all of it. So, with all this non-stop global activity, from trading to lending to massive organizational votes, how on earth do we actually pay to keep this giant decentralized world computer running? That's exactly where Ethereum's native currency, Ether, or ETH, comes into play. You essentially use ETH to pay what are known as gas fees. Think of it literally like putting fuel into a car to get from point A to point B. But in this case, you are fueling computation. Every single time you want to execute a smart contract, make a trade, or mint an NFT, it requires real computer processing power. So you pay a gas fee in ETH to compensate the thousands of independent network operators around the world for doing that computational work and keeping the whole system secure. Now, the way these fees are actually structured is super fascinating, all thanks to a famous network upgrade called EIP 1559. The gas fee is split into two parts, a priority fee and a base fee. The priority fee is basically just an optional tip you can pay to speed up your transaction, but the base fee is the mandatory minimum. And here's the crazy part. That base fee gets permanently burned, literally destroyed and removed from circulation. It acts almost like a video game mechanic or, a corporate stock buyback. The more people that use the network, the more ETH gets burned, which theoretically makes the remaining supply more scarce as demand shoots up. Now, historically, because the main Ethereum network is so incredibly secure and decentralized, those gas fees could get pretty painful during busy times. But recent upgrades to Layer 2 networks have fundamentally solved this, slashing fees by over 90%. Think of a Layer 2 kind of like opening a bar tab. Instead of swiping your credit card for every single drink, which is slow and expensive, you open a tab, get your drinks instantly and cheaply, and then you just settle the final bundled bill on the main network at the end of the night. This makes everyday apps on Ethereum incredibly fast, accessible, and costing just fractions of a penny. Eco-friendly network security. Actually, let's pause for a second, right? Because you might be wondering, what about the environmental cost of all this crazy global computing? For a long time, the crypto industry caught a lot of flack for its power consumption. 99.95%. Just let that massive number sink in for a second. During a historic 2022 event that the industry calls the Merge, Ethereum completely overhauled how it secures its network. It totally abandoned the energy-intensive crypto mining process, the one that relies on massive warehouses of computers just churning through complex math problems. By making this switch, Ethereum reduced its global power consumption by 99.95%, literally overnight. It was an unprecedented technological achievement that made the world computer instantly green. So instead of that energy-heavy mining, Ethereum now uses a consensus mechanism called proof of stake. Here's how it works. Rather than burning crazy amounts of electricity to prove you're trustworthy, validators secure the network by locking up or staking their own actual ETH as a security deposit. Picture them locking their coins in a digital vault. It is all about having real skin in the game. If a validator processes transactions fairly, they earn a small reward. But if they try to cheat the system or act maliciously, their digital deposit gets immediately slashed and destroyed. It brilliantly aligns all the financial incentives and secures the network without needing a single power-hungry computer farm. So what does this all mean for us? Look, it's highly secure, it's incredibly energy efficient, and it is totally decentralized. The world computer isn't just some theoretical white paper concept anymore. It is live, and it's hosting billions of dollars in daily activity right now. So the question isn't really what Ethereum is anymore. The real question is, how will you interact with the new Web3 economy? Are you going to trade digital assets, play next-generation games, build a decentralized app yourself, or just explore this wild new frontier? The world computer is up and running, and it is officially waiting for your input.